we are looking to find the angle between these two vectors. Vector A is 4, 3, 6, and vector B is 7, 3, 2. So we know that the cos of the angle between the vectors is equal to the dot product of the vectors, that's A dot B, upon the length of vector A times the length of vector B. So the A dot B, we just multiply out each component, so it's going to be 4 times 7 plus 3 times 3 plus 6 times 2. And we divide that by the length of A. Well, we get the length of A by squaring it, the first term, 4 squared plus 3 squared plus 6 squared, and we take the square root of that. And then we're multiplying this by the other vector, which is going to be 7 squared plus 3 squared plus 2 squared, and we take the square root of that. So that's going to equal 4 sevens are 28, plus the 9, plus the 6 twos are 12. And it's going to be 16 plus the 9 plus the 36, and that's the root. It's going to be that times 49 plus the 9 plus the 4, and that's the square root. So that's going to be 28, that's 40, so that's 49, divided by, that's 36, 45, 55, 61, root, times 49, 58, 62, root. So we can put this into our calculator, and this will give us the cos of the angle. But we're not looking for the cos of the angle, we're actually looking for the angle. So to get the angle, we're going to have to use the inverse cos. So it's going to be inverse cos of 49 divided by the root of 61 times the root of 62. And if you put that into your calculator, you're going to get a value 49, so it's going to be the inverse cos of 49 upon the root of 61 times the root of 62 is 61.5. So that is equal to an angle of, so put it into your calculator and check it, so shift cos 49 divided by 61.5, an angle of 37.2 degrees. So let's look at another example. So let's find the angle between these two vectors s and vector t. Now these are written in terms of the unit vectors I, j and k. So we know that the cos of the angle in between them, let's say call it theta, is equal to the dot product of vector s with vector t divided by the length of vector s times the length of vector t. Now to get the dot product, we multiply out the components, so this is just going to be 1 times the 1 for the I plus 1 times the minus 1 for the j plus the minus 1 times the minus 1 for the k. And that's going to be divided by the length of vector s, so it's going to be the 1 squared plus 1 squared plus the minus 1 squared for the k, and that's the square root. And we're going to multiply it by the length of t, which is going to be the 1 squared for the I plus the minus 1 squared for the j plus the minus 1 squared for the k, and we'll take the square root of this one. So let's work out the arithmetic. It's going to be 1, and this is going to be minus 1, so that cancels. Minus 1 times minus 1 is plus 1, so it's just plus 1 divided by the square root of this is a positive, so it's going to be 3 root, and The square root of that is going to be positive, and that's going to be positive as well, so that's going to be a value of 3 root as well. So that's just equal to 1 upon 3. So now we know the cosine of the angle is 1 upon 3. When we can work out the angle, we have to take the inverse cos of 1 upon 3. And if you put that into your calculator, you'll get that as 70.5 degrees. So that's all there is for this video. I'll get you on the next video. Goodbye.